Okay, here's an example. Please write this down. X squared plus 6x plus 7. So that's in standard form. We know that's in standard form because everything's on one side. There's no parentheses. Also, we know the y-intercept. Don't forget the y-intercept is 0, 7. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to kind of think about the bx. We're going to do this step right here. So I'm really just going to focus on this. And it's not really part of the equation, but it's super important work. So we're going to take this 6 and we're going to slash it in half. So 6 divided by 2, we know what that is. That's a 3. So after we cut that in half, we're going to square it. And 3 squared, of course, is 9. And that is what we kind of called our weird little club symbol. That is the value to complete the square. So this 9 is super important, and it kind of represented what that club value was in the previous video. So now that we have that 9, we're going to put it into the equation, but I can't put it into the equation because this is in the way. So remember, what we're going to do is we're going to move that positive c over. Got to get rid of it. It has no place over there on that side of the equal sign. So I'm going to recopy my x squared. I'm going to recopy my 6x. And then there's a spot right there. I saved a spot for that 9. 7, goodbye. Going to the other side, it's negative. So remember, I'm adding a value here that was nowhere in the equation at all. So remember, we have to keep it balanced. So when I put that 9 on this side, I have to put the 9 on the other side because it is an equation. It has to be equal. So this 9 is going to go on the left side. That 9 is also going to go on the right side. So now that we're at the third step, let's think about what happens next. What happens next is we actually go back to our cloud. That's why it's important that you draw a cloud with me. We go back to this value. We need that because the h is hiding out in there. The h for the vertex. So remember when we took the 6, we slashed it in half and we got that 3. That's the h value. So we got to go put that in parentheses. So this is going to be x plus 3. And remember, it's squared because it's a quadratic. Now, if I FOILed this out, I would end up with this. These two are identical. These two are identical. If I did x plus 3 times x plus 3, I'd end up with that trinomial. So where'd that 9 go? It's still there. It's kind of hiding out. But it is still there if I went and multiplied this binomial by itself. Let's go to this side over here. I'm going to do a negative 7 plus a 9. And the negative 7 plus a 9 is going to be a positive 2. Now remember, that's k in hiding. That's not a c value anymore. The c value is a 7. We have a 2 over here now. We're going to push it back to the other side. Boom, that's the k value. But when you push it back to the other side, don't forget to change the sign. So here we go. F of x equals, we're going to write this. And that 2, remember it was on the other side of this. Let's move it back over here. It's going to turn into a minus 2. And that is how we're going to convert standard form to vertex form. And remember that 2 over there, that was like our k in hiding. When you push it back over, it becomes the k value. Let's do this one more time. Example 2. Uh-oh. All right, here we go. So remember, the first thing is the b is so important in this process. Here the b is negative 18. We're going to take that negative 18 and we're going to slash it in half. And remember, a negative 18 cut in half is a negative 9. And that's super important. But that's not the club value. That's not what this crazy symbol is that I've been drawing. The crazy symbol is when I square the negative 9. And remember, negative 9 times negative 9 is a positive 81. That's your club. Okay, so now that we have everything we need to move forward here. So remember, this 81, it has to go in the equation somewhere. The 6 is in the way. That's the C value. It's going to get pushed to the other side. So I'm going to recopy x squared minus 18x plus a blank, because that's where that's going. Remember that he was in the way, so it's getting pushed to the other side. Remember, it's an equation. Whatever value I put here, I have to put the same value on the other side. Now remember, the club, the value that I made space for, is after you square it. So the 81 goes there. 81 goes here. 81 goes here. Now we're rolling. So now the next step is to factor this down. This is factorable. So remember, when we factor, it's going to have two factors that are exactly the same. So I'm going to put my square out here. And remember, what goes in here was this right here. You slash that b value in half. That b value that's slashed in half goes here. That's a minus 9, so I'm going to put minus 9 here. I'm going to recopy my equal sign, and a negative 6 and a positive 81, I believe, is going to be a positive 75. Okay, we're almost done. Now we've got to put it in vertex form. Remember, vertex form has the H and the K together on one side. That K is in hiding, so that 75 is going to get moved over. Don't forget to change the sign. So we're going to have x minus 9 squared. It was positive over there. It's negative over here. And then that is going to equal the y value. And that's it. That's how you guys complete the square.